Xavier, I don't know what you have planned, but from the questions you asked me, I am scared. Don't worry, it's not this session.
Now I'm worried.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, my wonderful friends, and welcome to session number 86 of Unlikely Heroes, our regular Sunday night Dungeons and Dragons game, which we've been playing for a long time now. 86 weeks. Actually, I think it's been 87 weeks technically, because there was 1 week we didn't play. But I digress. Welcome on in, everyone. I apologize about the little bit of a late start. I was just telling Candace about my character concept for your campaign, and I'm super pumped about it. Super pumped about it. So, anywho, yeah. So here we are, session 86. We are going to dive into it as we typically do. We're just going to do our recap, our XP and story recap from last week, and then we are going to dive into the thick of it and see kind of what happens. So, yeah, go get what now? What is he asking for?
Water.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna be up for a little bit, so.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. Anyways. Stick with us. There's some weird things that are going to happen, I'm sure, because, well, this is Sunday's game, so weird things always happen. Yeah. We'll talk to you guys soon. You guys know how it goes, by the way. I will not be paying a whole lot of attention to chat. And I will be giving the players as much of my attention as I possibly can. So, without further ado, let us dive in. All right, my friends. So, session number 86. Let's just do a quick recap from last week. So last week was all roleplay, which was wonderful roleplay. There was a lot of weird roleplay. There was some beautiful roleplay between Gray and the rest of the group, between Aurora and the rest of the group, as far as fine-tuning and figuring out exactly what the next steps are going to be for you guys, including what was a shopping trip, which was kind of cool. Like, it was like a shopping trip by proxy, I suppose. It wasn't like actual shopping trip. And there was an awesome conversation between Xavier and Aurora where he didn't say outright, but he revealed in some way, shape, or form that maybe he's a little bit more than what he has led on in the past. So, for better or worse. I think that's where we had kind of left off. Was you guys had just finished your long rest, because I see here that we're starting at 9 a.m. on the 15th. And you guys were going to be, if I'm not mistaken, teleported to Dremble by Xavier while you went and did whatever this thing was. And then after that thing was said and done, you were going to potentially teleport back to the... or to this river where you guys were going to go and kind of do your thing and get into the Underdark, potentially, maybe. But I guess we'll see what happens. That has yet to be seen, technically. So, that's where we left off. 9 a.m. Friday, the 15th of Jury. And XP recap real quick here. So everybody last session earned 1,000 experience points for RP, which puts Aurora at 63,862, 63862. Gray at 64,424, 64,424. Gray is officially level 10, and since you guys have hit or have just finished a long rest, Gray, you are more than welcome to do that level up now. Go ahead and throw your D6 in chat and subtract 1. I think it's 1. Or did you bump yourself up to 0?
It's 5. The other, oh no, I did roll 2d6. Okay, it's 4 minus 1,
okay.
so 3.
3. All right.
No.
I will keep that in mind. I'll write that number down, but I don't think I'm gonna level up just yet.
Okay.
I want to see where this goes.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so, and then the rest of the group, by the way, is at 66,492. That's 66,492. All right.
And you put me close enough to 64K to be like teased by that number. That is evilly close.
I know,
Yeah, he did the
I
same
know.
to me last week.
Hey, look, if you would have just made that one extra game, you'd already be there.
Yeah.
I know.
I now tell life to go in favor of D&D. It's like, no, don't even think about Sundays. No.
Okay, so yeah, so that's where we'll pick up today, and where what questions do you guys have? Any questions for me? Comments, clarifications, anything that needs answering before we dive into it? I'm not taking your concerns, Kat.
I have a concern now. She was waving at Liam.
Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and kick off some flip on our tunes here. So you guys have awoken, you have partaken in breakfast, you guys have received all of the goodies that you were brought from Xavier from your list, and you are now left to your devices. Xavier is standing by. He is in the tavern currently, kind of hanging out by himself, just going through some things. He's always going through a few things. And yeah, what would you guys like to do?
I feel like I had a nat 20 con save on something that's just been wasted.
So, are we ready to go? Or
That's what I was gonna say. I think we're just ready to go.
who are we meeting when we go there? Is it just like are there friendly people there, or is it like are we gonna have to like fight our way through to whoever you need to see, or what's happening? What are we expecting?
Well, I don't know what's there exactly. But if it's what I'm expecting, there won't be a fight.
What are you expecting?
I have.
Or who do you don't know who we're meeting, or what?
What's the plan, I guess?
Yeah, what's the plan?
I guess the plan is head there for today. I'll fulfill my promise of telling my story. We'll see what happens from there.
Are you expecting people to greet us? I guess is really... We're trying to decide how we should prepare.
Not really, you know.
Okay, so we should prepare for people to meet us angrily then. Just based
I am
on...
concerned with how close we are going to be to Karaktar, to their territories like this. I don't think we should go expecting a warm reception on any count, and we should keep our guard up.
That's just general good practice right there, right?
Our group would fetch a fair price.
That's gross.
It's gross, but it's the reality of the situation.
How much do you think we're worth?
Make a history
Aurora's gonna
check.
stop and do the math.
Make a history check. Yeah, do it with advantage too. You've sold goblins before. You specialized in dwarves, but
I'm gonna also take me a little bit to figure out what my own worth would be on that, because I'm a magic user now.
I'm pretty sure I'm not worth much.
so
Oh, that's not great. I don't know how to do some of the conversions, like tabaxi to gnome. Does that like lessen the cost? Does it increase? Like,
it's not that there's an increase or a decrease because of the racial variances, but it's more of like what they're capable of. So you know damn well for a fact Ree could easily sell into like a permanent position of slavery for like 500 gold, and that sounds like a lot, but just with what she's physically capable of, she could be a beast of burden for at least 20 years and then die, and it's not a big deal. As far as Doc, honestly, because of her devotion, she probably wouldn't get sold at all. She would probably be sacrificed on an altar. And as far as Gray is concerned, there's a lot of funky shit as far as Gray is concerned, but he may even be not sold and more or less like brainwashed into sharing those dark secrets that he has with like clan chieftains and shamans and shit. But yeah, they'd probably slit Doc's throat and bleed her out on an altar.
So it reads like, how would you think? Like, Aurora's gonna stop and like visibly, she's visibly doing the numbers there. She's gonna mutter a little bit. I mean, probably about 500 there. Doc, you could, and she's gonna stop, look at Doc. That's probably not a question you want to ask. Let's just not get caught by them.
Am I worth a lot?
You're priceless.
Doc, make an insight check.
If you didn't tell me, I was gonna ask.
You're priceless. Oh,
that was a sweet answer.
If by there's a variation in the way that you've heard Aurora say the word priceless and worthless before, and she accidentally just interchanged them, and you know what your worth is now.
She was trying so hard to do a defensive, like, romantic there, and oops.
With the 21 insight, however, you do also pick up that she was genuinely trying to positively influence you and not
She was sugarcoating it.
yeah, it was very, very sugar-coated.
Carl knows my worth. That's all that really matters.
That is the thought that you should take into this, yes. Also, and she's gonna make sure her hood's pulled up all the way, that her gloves are on, that her scales are not clearly showing.
Okay.
Let's not get caught by them. I'm also gonna make sure that my invisibility potion. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pass out invisibility potions Okay. Then I'm gonna make sure Ree has one, because Gray can cast it on his own. Ray should probably take this. I am not above running from the camps.
Okay. What does it taste like?
It tastes like invisibility, and this is not something you should test now.
Oh.
Syrup.
Ooh.
It's like cold air hitting your tongue.
You know how?
So I'm moving
on a
one of my
cold
potions
night-
of invisibility into my backpack.
Okay, sounds good.
I got a lot of potions in my bag. So jangly in there. Do you guys know what'll happen if I like mix all the potions together and then drink it all in one?
Probably explosion
No.
or implosion. Maybe a little bit of both.
I bet adding the oil of slipperiness into anything will make an explosion for sure.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, out your ass. It's like drinking magnesium citrate.
That's a good way to cleanse.
I'm pretty sure the answer is fire would happen, so it's not something you want to do. Lots of fire.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So where's our boy? Should we go talk to him?
Yeah.
Put on our daytimes and go talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys approach Xavier. He leads you into the room that you were in before that had the blue walls or the blue arcane barriers around it. This time without said blue arcane barriers. He closes the door and he says, "All right, so, Gray, you need me to get you to Dremble. Now, I don't have a teleportation circle inside of Dremble, but I do know of a small, very private location just to the northern outskirts of the city that I can bring us to if that would better suit you. Unless you know of a circle there and somebody who is expecting us."
No, the northern one is fine.
Okay, very
You
good.
know.
Yes, absolutely. I also have a sneaking suspicion I know the general direction that you are going to be heading, so I will get you as close to where you need to be as possible. Now, just give me a few moments, and he materializes from a small pouch around his waist a piece of chalk. The chalk itself is blue in nature, but it looks like it's got... To the naked eye, you're not entirely sure, but as you squint at it a little bit, there's like little, almost like pieces of Nerds candy stuck in it, but it glints every time it hits it hits light. And as he begins to draw on the circle, you see these little pieces kind of breaking off and melting into the circle, and then you realize that they're some sort of gemstone. So he traces this big circle out on the ground. He carves some runes into it, stands up, kind of reads it in order, kind of going clockwise, stops, fixes one small bit, and then puts the chalk away and says, "Well, if we're quite ready."
As we'll ever be.
Have all of you teleported before? I have teleported you before, right?
I believe you teleported us to the Druid Grove.
That's what I thought. Yes, because Ree, you threw up in your hat.
Yep.
All right.
I didn't wear a hat. I definitely threw up all over the ground, but yep.
Hey, maybe you didn't wear a hat. Yeah, you don't. I don't think you really.
I don't do it.
You don't do hats, no. But you do floofy pants very well.
You said doo-doo.
Oh boy.
All right, here we go. And the syllables begin to just spill out of his mouth, and as they do, almost taking on a weight of their own, they hit the ground with a loud poof, 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 poof. And as each syllable hits the ground, one of the arcane runes flashes and begins to glow. Suddenly, in the room, there is a burst of light, and as Xavier spins in a circle, drawing with the bottom of his heel a circle around him himself, the exterior of the circle flashes and everything goes blind for just a moment. There is a whoosh of air that hits you as if you've just opened a window doing 55 down a highway, and you suddenly come to and the air is still. You guys have all teleported before, so nobody needs to make a Constitution saving throw. That's just for first-timers. And suddenly, there you are, standing in what literally looks like a sandy field. It looks like there was maybe at some point in time crops that were grown here, but the beach has receded inward a little bit further than it was prior, and while there are still obvious like rows where the crops would have been grown, it's all sanded over at this point. So, Gray, you recognize exactly where you are. You know that if you head straight southeast from where you're at right now, maybe 25 minutes walk is where you would need to be. But there's not a whole lot around you at this point. You don't see anybody. There are a couple of random palm trees that are coming up and out of the sand. And if you look to the southwest, you can actually see just over the edge of what is a small cliff. You can see the ocean. So you can see the Trubanchardian Ocean. You also see huts kind of speckled along the top of said cliff. It's almost like a ridge. And then Gray, you would know that like once you go down that ridge, there's like a little hill that kind of takes you into what is Dremble. Now, Dremble is built up kind of... So they're like... I'm trying to think. They're almost kind of like Hawaiian huts yeah, they're more like Hawaiian huts, where they're built up kind of on stilts, and then that way when the surf comes in, or the tide comes in and rises, it doesn't flood people out every single day, and they're built pretty freaking high, so do with that what you will. But you find yourselves in the field. Xavier steps out of... There's a small circle as you look down on the ground that has been burned into the sand, still smoking, actually, and as he steps out of it, he goes... I thought they used to grow rice here.
The second run's a little bit easier than the first one, but I feel like sick as a dog.
Yeah, that's still a little bit rough.
It's pretty awesome, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's undeniable.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool.
All right, well, I will... now, Mr. Gray, you said you did not anticipate staying here for an entire day, did you? Or is that your intention? If it is, I will take my leave and meet you back here at another point. You can just message me, but if it's going to be, you know, a couple of hours, I have a few things I can take care of in Dremble.
I don't think it'll take too long. It might be a couple hours, yeah. The place is only about 20, 25 minutes, and that direction is going to point southeast. All
right, understood. Well, I'll take care of my errands here in beautiful... tropical, always sunny and hot and humid as shit Dremble. And when you need me, just send me a missive up here, and I'll do what I can to meet you and get you on to your next adventure. Ta-ta. And he turns and begins to walk.
Thanks, Xavier.
Gray.
I'll be right back. I just really gotta quickly go to the bathroom. My bladder's shaking like a shark.
No, you commit to this game and piss your pants like an adult. No,
wear a diaper like the rest of us.
Yeah. So Gray checks out for just a moment.
We shouldn't be so rough on him. We know what his con score's like.
All right.
I'm gonna check on our daughter really quick because she's in the bathroom and we had to.
Aurora, make a perception check.
I don't know, that scares me.
Okay, so
20 or 24, depending on if it's the favored.
Oh, your favored terrain is plains, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this is definitely plains. Okay, so you as you're looking around, as Gray is kind of getting his bearings and looking around, and Rhea is kind of coughing out just a little bit of nausea she has, Doc is doing whatever Doc does. You glance around, and as you do so, so off directly to the east, about easily 3/4 of a mile to a mile, maybe even a little bit more, because it's pretty damn flat here. You notice two smokestacks that are kind of rising up in the distance that are very clearly from campfires. As you kind of trace the trajectory of hunting territory of Karak Tar and the way that these two campsites are placed, you feel that there is a distinct possibility that what you are witnessing in that vicinity is a scouting party camp. So you have the forward observers and the rear detachment, and the way that those two trails of smoke are active in relation to each other versus where that big diamond of hunting territory is, you're pretty fucking positive that's a scouting party out there, as well as a forward observer unit plus a rear detachment.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't mean that
it
doesn't mean that they're out hunting. Just so you know, this would be the group that goes out ahead of raiding parties in order to figure out where things are and what they're doing.
Okay. Before I say anything to the others, then I'm going to shift my bow a little bit just to make sure it's that like comfort. Is this within ease of reach? And I'm going to reach down in primeval awareness, which is a 6-mile radius right now.
Okay, give me 1 sec.
Burning a first level, so you are aware.
Okay, so as you guys are kind of standing here, Gray is getting himself put back together. Rhea is finishing wiping her mouth from drool and spit, and Aurora reaches down and she kind of puts her hands into the sand. And as you watch, she kind of digs her nails in, and as she pulls up, you see that the sand kind of comes up almost like vines, and it kind of like wraps around her hands. Her eyes glow very, very momentarily, and within a 6-mile radius, you sense fiends and elementals. Specifically, you sense water elementals.
Okay. Aurora's gonna straighten a little bit, turn to the group, and keeping her voice down, even though it's entirely unnecessary. It's gonna be you guys, you see the smoke there? More than likely, that's a scouting party. We should stay
what direction?
There where? East.
Oh, to the east.
So the
East,
direction
yeah.
we're heading is going to be like southeast. Does it look like we can avoid them?
Aurora, I'll give you that with your perception check. Yeah, you can easily avoid going to either the forward observer or the rear detachment camp or outpost if you're going to go legitimately southeast. Like, you can easily keep track because of the sky and an open landscape, like where they are in response to where you are. But again, it doesn't mean that they would attack. It means that somebody might watch you if you get too close. That's typically what that means. So
we're the blue X, and we're going to the light blue circle?
Correct. And then, let me give you whoops. God damn it. Sorry, I was on another page there. So you guys are the dark blue X. You guys are going towards the light blue circle. And the smoke, which we will do in gray, is right... Oh, that's terrible. I'm not doing that in gray. Hang on, I changed my mind. We're doing it in... weird green? There we go. There we go. So I'm just going to do this so we know that there's 2 little smokestacks. There we go.
Yes, we can avoid it if we're careful. And it's a scouting party. That doesn't mean it's not a raiding party, but we don't want to attract that kind of attention if we can avoid it. There's also fiends and what I think are water elementals, but I couldn't tell you exactly where, and that shouldn't be related to the camp, so that's something else we should watch for.
Okay. Hey,
also, we should not stay here for very long.
Great. Doc will step in front of Gray, and she's gonna trace a rune in the air, and then place her hand on where his tiny black heart should be, and cast Death Ward on him.
Oh, man. I thought she was going to cast Glyph of Warding Explosion and blow his heart out through his back. Campaign over. Killed the Dark Angel.
How dare you stab my girlfriend?
Okay, so you cast Death Ward. So, as she traces the sigil in the air, she then kind of twists her hand clockwise, and as she does, she reaches out, and as it touches your heart, the sigil takes material form, and your entire body, you guys see Gray's body lock up momentarily, almost like he got hit with a taser, and then as it releases, there is a gray flush that kind of comes over his face, and as he breathes out, you can actually see as if he was in a very cold environment, just a very soft breath of frost come off of his lips, and yeah, you are affected by Death Ward. So, if at some point in time you drop to 0 hit points as a result of taking damage, you instead become 1. Great fucking spell. Great fucking spell.
Or if he gets hit by something that would kill him, it just poof, and then the spell is over.
So you're saying aim twice?
What I'm saying is, I can't help your constitution, but I can help you not die right away.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Ironic considering our conversation earlier, Lucy.
It really is.
That would have been so rude.
Alright, so what would you guys like to do?
So what? Head straight south and then hook to the east. Is that what we're doing? Avoid the fire.
If we go southeast, and it is true southeast, we should be able to avoid them. I can help lead, since I know this sort of area, but I don't know. Gray, you're going to have to help on some of that. I don't know exactly where you want us to go.
No worries. I don't mind taking the lead this time.
So I guess we'll get ready to follow Gray.
I'm absolutely either navigating or helping navigate. Because, yes.
Alright.
Favorite terrain?
Give me because Aurora, because you can give details about the landscape itself because of your familiarity with this area, Gray, go ahead and make a survival check for me with advantage, because Aurora can lead you towards what I will call anticipatory landscape features. Hey, we need to get to this hill that, if you look at it from the side, looks like a heavy-chested woman lying on her back on the beach. Holy shit, there it is, Boob Hill. And,
Is it Aurora or Ree giving direction?
Aurora, well, Ree, as you're saying it, Ree's like, oh yeah, Titty Hill over there.
I know, it does look like much.
Okay, give me just 1 second.
Aurora. I think Aurora is like anticipatory terrain involved.
So 19.
Like, we're going to go towards the hill that looks like a decapitated dwarf. That one is a dwarf with the arm removed. Things like that. Very thematic.
I don't see it, but all right. You say so.
No, in all seriousness, Aurora is very much in like very focused high alert mode because she does not enjoy being this close to the territory, knowing she no longer knowing what their group is.
Gray's probably a bit tense too. My survival is a 19.
Alright, so. One moment.
I'm so used to like everyone in the Saturday campaign being like, oh, I have exhaustion disadvantage, that I was like, oh, right, advantage, not the opposite.
Yeah, it's because Saturday campaign, everyone's been fucking with hags for literally like 6 months of real world gameplay, so everyone's like advantage turning it. Oh yeah, by the way, I don't know if I ever told you guys this offhandedly, but since it's been cured, yeah, you were turning into a fucking frog, Cat, in that one. Little did Bloodmane know, but he had a seed in his chest that if it would have gone for a couple more days, would have burst out of him in the form of vines, and he would have turned into a tree.
How come I was so pretty?
Because you were sapping everybody else's charisma around you, and every hour you were alive, you gained a bonus to your charisma modifier, and everybody else lost it until they died. You were literally absorbing their beauty.
That's terrible.
Should have kept it going.
Dumb ways to die.
Winnie would have felt so bad if we didn't get that fixed and everyone just died.
Oh, it would have been hilarious.
That's a whole Medusa story right there.
Yeah. Okay, so 19 survival, absolutely no problem. You, as best as you can, you try to tell Aurora what you remember about the landscape, and Aurora, using your innate ranger skills, managed to point out specific landscapes that trigger a response in Gray. And Gray finally, over the course of, about 30 minutes, it was pretty accurate, leads you guys directly southeast. And as you go southeast, you do see the smoke trails get smaller and smaller. So thankfully, oh, there he is. What's up, buddy? So you guys get yourselves down towards where you need to be. And Gray, for the first time in many, many moons, you find yourself...
Whoa, did we get smaller?
You gotta zoom in. It's a very small map. It's only 10 by 10. It makes more sense when it's much bigger. But yeah, it's possible where you got smaller. Okay, so. You find yourself at a very familiar location, Gray. As you arrive at the location of the troops' caravan, is what we'll call it, the semi-permanent caravan location, you still see the familiar circle that is dug out. You can still see the ruts in the ground from where the wagons used to lie, creating a beautiful circle, still to this day unable to truly grow grass on its own accord. However, in the very center of where said circle was, where your troops' bonfire used to light the night during your rest time festivities, now stands a beautifully adult maple tree. Around the outer edge of where the troops' caravan used to lie are a copious amount of beautiful wildflowers. Denser than anything you've seen anywhere else on Trubenshard at this point in your adventure. To the north, just past the central maple tree, you see a banner. A large blue banner with the crest of a white dragon on it. Not an actual white dragon, it is just a white colored dragon. If you actually inspect it, it looks like it's actually a red dragon. However, the color against the backdrop is white. You recognize this as the heraldry from Dremble. Sitting in front of the banner, the Dremble banner, are 3 headstones, which from where you're at you cannot see, but if you do choose to approach, we can discuss that further. Besides that, everything around you is as you see. So, Gray, what would you like to do?
I think Gray would just kind of, walk towards the graves, kind of just taking everything in, looking at the maple tree and the flowers.
It's beautiful. First and foremost, everything here, especially considering the season, like, mind you, it's midsummer. Midsummer in this part of the continent does not get a whole lot of love. It's very, very hot, typically really humid, which is fine, but it also means that you miss out on a lot of the natural beauty up in the north, where you have like the lush fertile land coming out of the mountains and all the beautiful minerals that help the plants and trees grow. You don't see that here. Usually shit is washed up from the ocean, as it's pretty violent down here during the summertime. But here, for some reason, it is particularly lush, dense, colorful, and beautiful all at the same time. As you approach the heraldry of Dremble, you notice two things. First and foremost, it's fucking massive. It stands at least 12 feet tall, about 7 feet wide. It is a testament to this place. On the left-hand side and the right-hand side, and dead center in front of this heraldry, there are 3 headstones. The left headstone reads as follows. To those in life lost in treachery. Aranude, Cathid, Carnod, Gilphaean, Dorlin, Lost Peak, Dogani, Galtina, Air War, All War, Saccharin, Tai, Keth, Fem, and Nirin. The right-hand headstone says the following. Lost in treachery. Hang on a second. I lost my goddamn place in my... See, this is what I get for typing out too many fucking notes. Okay, so the left-hand side says, to those in life lost in treachery. So the right hand says... Lost in treachery, redeemed through faith. And, Lucy, you're gonna have to help me pronounce this name. It's F-E-M-G-E. Is it Femge? Femge?
I think it's more. I'd like to think it's pronounced Femge.
Femge. Femge. There you go. Femge. That's how you say it in your head, all of you. And then the central stone appears to be a poem of some sort. And it says the following. This is all in common, by the way. He was an angel of light who shone with grace and might. He had a loyal band of friends who followed him to the ends. But he had a secret plan to betray them and run. He wanted more than what he had. He craved for power and glory and fame. He waited for the right moment to stab them in the back and leave them spent. He fled with the treasure they had won and left them for dead under the sun. He thought he had escaped his fate, but soon realized his mistake. His friends were not so easily killed, and so through spirit they rose up with vengeance and anger filled. They tracked him down, though not quite as literal, and confronted him with a fiery glare. They asked him why did he do this, and how he could be so cold and cruel. He had no answer to give them. He felt no remorse or shame. He only sneered and mocked, and said he would do it again. They fought with him in a fierce battle, though not as literal. But he was no match for their mettle. They overwhelmed him and bound him tight and dragged him to the court of light, where he faced his final fight, though not as literal. There he faced the judgment of his peers, angels all abound, who looked at him with scorn and tears. They stripped him of his wings and halo, and cast him out into shadows. He became a fallen angel, a demon of the night who lurked in darkness, away from sight. He has no friends. He has no love. He has no hope. He only has pain and guilt and regret. Or so we hope.
Man, whoever this poem's about sounds like a real dick.
Doc's gonna give a little pat on Ree's shoulder and gonna
Bless her heart.
just
That was
gonna,
good.
thumb over to Gray.
For RP, I want to. Aurora is going to just be keeping watch through this. Because she doesn't know what the hell's going on. Things are weirdly emotional. She's just gonna do what she do. Keep an eye on things.
Doc will actually be, after they stand there and kind of, she gets to read through that middle part especially, she's gonna be fighting tears and just kind of waiting and watching Gray.
Yeah, I think Gray would just kind of stare at like the poem for a little bit. And on the right side see a name that he did not expect to see alive. Or apparently to have confronted him. And I guess just kind of go. It's partly right. But it's missing half the story. I guess I should fill in the holes. MJ, you always were an asshole. Okay. So I think Gray would kind of, I guess, turn to you guys and go, so I guess I should tell my part of this story as I promised. After all, half a story is like a name that's not written here. Forgotten.
As soon as he says that, the wind begins to pick up around you guys.
I suppose we should find somewhere more clear. And Gray's gonna kind of walk over to this side where it looks like there's not as many flowers.
Okay.
And then Gray's gonna start casting. Let me just see the correct wording, because if I remember right, I should at least, I think, have enough.
For what? What are you trying to cast?
Major image. I just want to see how big it is. 20-foot cube.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a lot of fucking space.
It's a big boy.
It's a big room. So
Yeah.
it's literally, it's like it's like a tavern room, a small tavern room.
So I guess, hold on. I keep losing the level I have it. Okay, there we go. I'll cast it at a 4th level, so it's not concentration.
Okay.
Oh, Ooh, story with
no,
a gem. Okay.
I'm wrong. So it says when you cast a spell using a spell slot of 6th level or higher. So apparently it still needs concentration because I don't have a 6th level spell slot.
That is true. Yep, that is absolutely correct.
Well then, fuck it, 3rd level it is. And what'll appear is I guess what would start as just like this metal box, with iron bars just adding like to the front, which I think Aurora would find very familiar. Or I guess it would look like a more shoddy version of the Slaver's Pen, basically. Even the worst stories have a start. That includes mine. My story starts at Korektar, actually. I was a slave there. That's the earliest memories I had, and probably ever will. I wasn't sold, because of not a lot of visits. I was very frail, sickly even back then. But, the orc said I looked nice, so they used me to feed grapes while the other slaves fought or got sold. Or whatever else they used them for. Many years went by like that from childhood. Eventually, one day, a band of bards and performers came by. About 18 of them. Well, 19. And of those 19, the orchestrator. Sorry, I'm picking a name. Because I haven't given everyone a job yet.
That's okay. Do what you gotta do, man.
Carnot, with his big hat and funny monocle. Very dressed up, I thought he looked funny. But he wasn't green, so he looked, I guess, nicer than the orcs.
Excuse me.
Said that they'd take me. I wasn't sure why at the time. I didn't really care. I got out of the camps. At first I thought it was going to be quite similar. Just going to keep me in a cage until they needed me to do stuff. But it was actually quite different. They took me in. They gave me to an old man, person who took care of me and raised me. I don't know his name. I just refer to him as Dad. He never told me, which is why I never asked the shadows. Along with him, a friend I made very early on that stuck around me quite well. A young half-elven girl named Iluna.
As soon as he says the word Iluna, the now overcast skies begin to open up ever so slightly, and along with the pickup of wind, a small drizzle begins.
She easily became my best friend and was one of the reasons I learned to play drums. She was really good with instruments, the flute, the lyre, drums themselves. I particularly liked war drums because I thought they sounded cool and powerful. Throughout the years, I learned the names of all the other people. Irnid, Kethid, Femge, Carnod, Ilfane, Dorlin, even a Tabaxi Lostbeak, Dogani, Galtina, Erwar and Alwar, with their kids Ty and Kethith. Sakrin, and she was not a mother, but adopted Fem and Niren, another 2 kids. This was our troupe. Lost Peak tried to teach me acrobatics, but due to my frailty, I was never good at it. Dorlin was our strong man, a dwarf. He was also, if you got him drunk enough, played bagpipes, to everyone's dismay. Years grew by. I helped promote the service as we traveled. I played drums on occasion, not on the main stage. Normally I'd be in the back. Iluna and I basically grew up together. Well, not, I guess, didn't grow up together, but we hung around a lot. Eventually, throughout our travels, as I grew from kid to teen to almost adult, Dad passed. He grew too old, was too sick. And on the day of his passing, he told me many things. One of these things is the reason why I, out of everyone at the orc camps, was picked. It's because I'm an Aasimar. At the time, I was still good. I tried my best to help others. I played my instruments to provide entertainment. And I generally tried my best to help out around the camp.
What's going on?
He said, an Aasimar is a symbol of good. They helped bring in people who might think this is another travel band of thieves and liars. And then he told me that that's exactly what this was. They used me for my good image. He said, everyone, including himself, had their part to play. While others were on stage, Ty, Keth, Fem, and Niren were stealing money, the children, from those who weren't paying attention. Our guards, Galtina, Eor, and Alwar, were making sure that anyone who bothered them were keeping quiet.
Suddenly the wind picks up.
Everyone else had their role. Our strong man wasn't even actually strong. His weights were fake. And so on it went. Each and every person. And he told me all of their lies. Everything that happened. Naturally, I didn't believe him. I didn't want to. Because the biggest lie was from the person I cared for the most. And so on, this made me aware. It planted that bit of doubt after he had passed. I continued my performances for a while, reaching adult now, but as performances went on, I started catching glimpses of the kids stealing, of the guards harassing civilians, of Elgar stuffing light things into his what looked heavy weights. Lost Peak was about the only one actually performing, but you could catch him slipping things when he got off stage from people's necks with his soft paws. Eventually, I caught the kids stealing a giant bag too big for them to carry from a rich, I guess, person who watched. I can't think of the word right now, sorry, just lose.
Patron. Rich patron.
Thank you.
There we go. I got you.
A rich patron. And upon seeing this, I took the money from him and tried to give it back. Of course, this was a large amount of money that would have helped the troupe, quote unquote. We weren't poor. So one night, after seeing this, I was also caught by the owner, Carnot, of this troupe. One night, as we were camping in this very spot here, wagons. I like to think that I'm like the mirror image moves from the place it was to like around the camp, like melding into like 3 carts where they were.
Yeah, and as Lucy is explaining this, it is materializing in front of you in full. I mean, you guys are smelling the sweat in the wagons and behind the bars. You are seeing it. You are hearing. There is a weight and a all of your senses are pulled into this illusion.
And I'd like to think that also, like, as it would like highlight the people walking past the wagon and so forth as it, like, travels that way.
Yep.
I was called in. This wasn't the first time I was caught giving money back to the people who they were robbed from. And when I was called in, who stood there was Carnot himself, as well as Iluna. It's safe to say that me and Iluna were more than friends at this stage. We were always around each other and cared deeply. As the director berated me and I said what he's doing is wrong, and I confronted him himself, he got up and said, "I'm not the one who should be telling you this. You should hear it from the person whose idea it was in the first place to bring you along." And he stood up
As Grace says that, the rain picks up.
And I'd like to think now the image has stopped at like the single caravan close by with like half of the wall down and the three people inside on a table. And one walks out and Iluna sits down, the half-elf image. I like to think that up to now they weren't really colored in. They were more like just these blue, vague shapes. She sat down and, word for word, she told me she's the one who told Carnot to hire me, to buy me. She's the one that came up with the idea to get a so-called angel of good to represent their thing, to give to their troupe, to give more opportunities. She was also taught many ways to steal and such, and she even, without me knowing until she told me herself, had me help with stealing and carrying stolen loot, as well as lie to people, guaranteeing good. And that broke me. It hit in a hole that I didn't think that it would hit. The very person I trusted most told me that she had been the very lie. In fact, she told me herself that the reason she got close to me at first was simply to make sure that I wouldn't catch on to what everyone else was doing. However, this wasn't what changed me. The events that happened after did. And the box kind of just turns around, and you can see like there's a window on the other end. A pretty decently sized one, and it's open. And then like an arrow, this arrow, like I think this would be the only thing filled with color, shot will fly straight through the window itself and land directly in the chest of Iluna.
As soon as that happens, you guys, the wind again shifts from a moderate to a very powerful, almost gale-like wind around you. And it's at this point you realize, all of you, all four of you, that this is not part of the illusion. It is a phenomenon happening in and or around you. Okay, continues.
She didn't die immediately. My first instinct was to rush over to her, just like it's dogs or auroras, to run to each other. I held her on my lap as she was dying. I tried my best to heal her, but I couldn't pull out the arrow. It was in too deep. And she continued, telling me every lie everyone has ever told me. The fact that people here didn't even actually care. The people around this camp, I was just a tool to be used for good. The only person that did care died of old age and of sickness. And she died right there in my arms. It was just then that the guards shouted of an orc attack. Paraktar had assaulted our camp, and I saw this as an opportunity. No, it was a relief. These people used me. The only thought that could run through my mind then was, well, it was empty. It was just, at first, I need to run. But when I walked outside and Carnot himself had just ran without checking if anyone else was inside, I was okay. Everyone else was just busy grabbing as much loot and money as they could get. I decided, if these people were my family, if that's what I saw them as, better for them to die the way they are, grabbing onto money. So as the guards fought, I picked up my drum. That's the first time I heard his voice.
And suddenly, there's a crash of thunder, and a bolt of lightning strikes the ground about 200 yards from you guys, sending a shockwave across the field. The storm around you has suddenly grown horrifically violent. Please continue, Lucy.
He told me, play it. And I did. I strummed the note that's so familiar to you now. Bane. And the strings of the violins attached to our very own guards that had tried to keep us safe. And the orcs struck them down. And this continued with basically everyone in the camp. I wasn't prepared for travel, but I wasn't gonna die here. He told me to run. I grabbed what I could, enough a weapon, grabbed my drum, of course, and my clothes, and I ran. Leaving everyone here to their fate. I don't regret what I did. It says it on that stone. I'm not going to. I have one regret, and that's that I escaped alone. There's one person I wanted to take, but it's the one person I couldn't. They say history has the funny thing of repeating itself. I listened to Iluna's orders, my bad, sorry. Iluna's orders.
Oh, God.
No, don't.
Yeah, I know, just...
Iluna's orders. Just like I listened to his. I had thought I found someone, again, that could look after me. And just like the same time with her, when I wasn't needed anymore, when I became, I guess, more of a nuisance, they got rid of me. And that is the sad story of Gray.
Do you allow the illusion to fade, Gray?
Yeah.
So as he finishes his sentence and kind of waves his hand, and the illusion, the scent, the color, the smell, even is so powerful of an illusion, you can actually see the rain beating off of it. As he waves it away, there is a bolt of lightning that streaks horizontally across the sky, and as quickly as it showed up, the entire sky spirals, almost like a hurricane, out of existence, and everything falls silent. You guys are completely soaked. The ground is soaked around you and muddy, but the storm vanishes.
I think as soon as Gray finishes that part of the story, Ree will jump up and just try to give him a big old hug.
I don't think I have the strength to resist. If I wanted to.
Not no. I don't have the strength to resist.
Gray would try and move out of the way, but I don't think he's able to.
Nope, too bad. No time.
With that being said, Lucy, go ahead and take an inspiration point, and for a wonderfully articulated and beautiful reaction, Ree, please take an inspiration point as well.
Doc is looking at her feet. And she says, well, we do have a saying, those of us with Carl. And then she'll look up at him, and she's just got tears just streaming down her face. The third time's a charm. This would be your third time.
But you didn't do anything wrong. They deserve what they got.
He did because he passed judgment. It's not his place to pass judgment. That's why he died. It's not because he sacrificed them. It's because he passed judgment on people. That's why he died.
Gray, disregard. Never mind.
Ree, would you mind letting go, please?
Oh, yeah, sorry. She'll take a step back.
My story with you is finished. But I'm not done talking. Third chances are for people who deserve it, Doc. I've been caged since the day I can remember. I've just had different appearances in cages. However, you can think what you want and say what you want to each other. There's still some people I want to talk to. And Gray's gonna turn around. Sorry, I just want to check a spell real quick. I want to see if it's concentration. It is. Okay. Then, yeah, Gray's gonna walk away, I think, to the other side. And, he's gonna cast Major Image again.
Okay.
Probably 3rd level. Actually, no, I think for him this would mean a lot, so he'll probably cast it at 5th level. It doesn't do anything extra, but...
He's just putting the extra stank on it because he can.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what's going to appear is essentially a small campfire. And then 2 figures. This time with actual, like, appearances. Yeah.
I made a campfire.
Nice.
Sorry.
Man make fire.
Man, fuck you. You just made me sound like a Neanderthal. Me make fire.
When you say that, I just think of the Phineas and Ferb caveman episode where they just go, "Kantak maka funfa."
Oh, shit. Okay, I apologize. Okay, so you create a campfire, and I'm sorry, what else do you create, Lucy?
So there's 2 figures sitting across from the campfire. One, this very old man, no hair up top, like the side bit. I'm not sure, like, I guess you imagine him just wearing, like, normal clothes, brown, probably a bit tattered from traveling. And next to him is basically slightly shorter, half-elf girl with similar to Gray, long black hair, but hers is way longer. She has 2 different colored eyes, one blue, one orange. She's probably wearing brighter clothes, probably with different colors themselves. I guess if you imagine it kind of like, not as baggy as hippie clothes, but as colorful as like the stereotypical hippie clothes. Sitting there next to him, and Gray goes and sits down by the fire, and you'll see the images themselves like look as if they're speaking, but no words come through. And Gray will also, I guess, imitate words, like he'll make his mouth move, but nothing comes out of him as well. As if he's cast the silence spell, but I'm not going to. And I guess I'll leave the floor to you guys for a bit.
Okay, so let me ask you a logistical question, Lucy. Are you simply having this conversation off? This is just like an off-screen conversation that you feel like you want to have, like, kind of privately?
No, I guess this is more of just a Gray talking to himself, but imagining there are people there. So this, I feel like, would more happen in his own mind.
Understood. So he's having a conversation. He is creating and illustrating a conversation that he wants to have, but through his own magic, because that's what he feels is the only way he could do it.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. Okay, so you guys see Gray doing this. You see the images materialize, the fire. You even see the images across from him. These 2 people react to the fire as if there's heat. You see the old man blow into his hands and kind of put it up to the fire. And Gray begins to speak silently to the 2 figures.
I'd like to think that after a few minutes, another figure would show up. This one with... I guess black horns, black wings, white fur, and it's the satyr version of the shadow. Good old Mythiliatora, but Gray doesn't know that.
Alright, so a couple minutes goes by and you guys see the very realistic fucking major image version of this guy appear, but does not really react. It seems kind of stationary, and you're pretty well aware that Gray is probably just manipulating this thing. What are you guys doing while this is all going on? If anything.
I guess we might take a couple steps closer to try to get a better look at what's happening and see if it's just literally no sound happening or if it's just like they're talking really quietly.
Okay, good question. And Gray, what is it? Are you having the conversation, like, are you legitimately having it, or is it, you tell me, because you have a major image up, this is 100% your discretion.
I don't think major image can make sound. It can, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it's sound, smell, feel, everything is pretty much, yeah, so whatever's happening.
Yeah, the lower tier version of that is silent image, and that's that.
Right, and that's, well, it's silent.
Yeah, okay.
It's also in black and white. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yes, 80s movies done. Then I think it would just be a soft discussion, because I think Gray would want to hear their voices. Not so much his mentors. I think the mentor would just be kind of sitting there. But everyone else you'd probably just hear talking. It's just general things of how they're doing, as if they've gone by a normal day.
Okay, so you're just having casual conversation with them.
Yeah, and he's kind of, I guess, just catching them up on what he's been doing.
That,
And it's interesting too because sorry, just really quick, Candace. Just a point of a note here. Ree, as you're kind of approaching, and Doc, as you're starting to listen in now, and as he's having this conversation, you realize it's really just like day-to-day casual conversation. It's a conversation that a husband and a wife might have, or a dad and a son might have. Hey, bud, how was your day? Oh, it was good, but this happened. Okay, cool. Let's work through that. And then you hear Gray kind of like giving him a little bit more details, but then they're responding in ways that, since Ree and Doc are the ones right here actually listening actively, why don't both of you give me insight checks? For better or worse.
Terrible.
No, it's actually not that bad. So, Ree, you don't pick up on the subtle bits, but Doc, you absolutely 100% recognize that the responses these images are giving are definitely constructed from Gray's mind. It is not another entity. You've been with this guy for so long now. You know the way he thinks, you know the way he feels. After what he just told you, and this weird fucking storm that just happened, and all of the crazy, dark, weird, shadowy shit that this man's been involved with you being pulled into it in the last couple of weeks, with the 24, 100%, he is manipulating these illusions to get... He is keying them for responses he wants. But it's not malicious, though. It's
right.
He's not all there.
Yeah. Doc would take a step back from where she was, sit down crisscross applesauce, and she's actually going to pray to Garl. And at this point, I'd like to use divine intervention.
Okay, hold the fuck on. Yo, I forgot you were level 10.
Yep. I've been waiting for this for like 4 levels.
Give me a second. Wow, I gotta scroll way the fuck down there for divine intervention. Okay, so you can request your deity's aid and roll percentile dice. If your roll is equal to or less than 10, equal to or less than 10, so you have a 10% chance for your DoD to intervene.
Right.
If successful, you can use this. You can't use this feature again for 7 days. Otherwise, you can use it again after a long rest. Okay.
So
wow. So it's always 10%. Okay. All right. So what do you say to Garl?
She's gonna say, "Hey, girl. I hope you're enjoying."
Hey, girl.
Yeah. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey.
I hope you're enjoying chilling in that meadow.
Bling bling, bitch. No, I'm sorry.
I think I need your help. I know that you know what I'm doing. I think Gray needs a bit of guidance, and he's feeling lost and more alone than he ever has. With 3 people here, whether or not Aurora wants to agree, that are going to help him through this. If you can just give him that little bit of oomph he needs to get past this part, to get him on the path to redemption, I would really appreciate that boost. I'll do the rest. I just need a little help with getting it started. Amen, I guess.
All right, Candace, go ahead and roll percentile dice. You
This
were
is my
looking
favorite.
for 10 or 1 to 10 is a success.
I'm not gonna look.
If you get I watched Josh throw fucking percentile
I know.
dice for like 2 years on divine intervention and fail every single fucking
I
time.
know. All right. I'm gonna wish for high, so maybe it'll go low.
No, you're not. That's not how it works. It
I
says
know,
1
I
to
know.
10 specifically.
I know.
98. Nope,
But
98's
me
a
and
fail.
percentiles. If I wish for one, I get the other.
Yeah, if you would have, if I would have opened it up for you to pick high or low, you would have just
I would've
succeeded.
gotten it,
But and just so you guys know, the reason why I'm making this call is it very specifically says if your roll is equal to or less than 10, you succeed.
I was just talking about fate.
Your request does not have success. You do not feel any divine intervention open up around you, but you do feel like you can pray for it tomorrow.
All right.
Also, I fucking love that it's just 10%.
I know. She says, okay, not the right time. I get it. I know you will help me when the time is right.
Xavier,
Yes.
this spell only lasts for 10 minutes, so I'd like you to tell me when 8 minutes arrives, please.
Okay.
Doc's just gonna give him space after that. She might, like, meander over here.
Okay. So what's Aurora doing during this, while this crazy shit's going on?
Aurora had set off into this intending on just like keeping watch and like just letting them do their, emotional shit. But she was listening despite herself because how could you not with a story like that? Sorry, pardon my coughs. She was kind of doing that like back and forth, keeping an eye on things, but had stopped. I was suddenly very grateful for the hood being up.
Is that what you're trying to do? Ceremony
and is trying very hard to just keep her like expression calm.
No, but the divine intervention.
Is just kind of hyper aware of everything. She doesn't know what to do, what to feel, what to anything. So she's trying to kind of like just trust her instincts to like default, keep an eye on things, and just wait, because she's never dealt with something like that. So what she is effectively doing is nothing. She's processing. But she's processing all of what Gray just dropped, and also trying to decide a little bit if she should feel bad for treating Gray like shit, but also like not really. Yeah. She's not near the others or anything. She's where she's at the beginning of this clearing. She's not gone near the headstone. She's not read any of that. She's been here and aware of everything.
Okay. Aurora, roll a nature check for me, please. And you are in favored terrain, so make it an advantage.
Is it advantage or just my plus? Because favored terrain's usually just giving my extra bonus.
Nope, this is just a special roll just for you. This is a situational special roll.
Then you may want to ignore my extra +4 on there.
So, you are 100% confident that the storm that just blew up around you, that spiraled out of existence as fast as it did, was 100% unnatural. That was fabricated because of something else, and it was specifically over this area. You're not sure what. You've got a good fucking idea because Gray was telling a story. You're not sure why because you don't understand that aspect of things, but you are totally confident that that is not a natural weather pattern for this biome. Like, by a long shot.
Follow-up question to that then.
Sure.
With her new vague understanding of arcane magic that she has instinctually gathered, does she think that this could have been tied to the illusion, or does it seem outside of the realms of the spell that he cast?
That's a really good fucking question. I'll let you make an arcana check. I know that's not your strong point, but you referenced arcana, so you're gonna make an arcana check. Okay.
Well, I mean, I could do, or is it more like what I've seen Doc do? But she's definitely never summoned storms. Come on, dice, be a little nice.
Seriously.
That's not bad for me.
No, it's really not bad at all. So the storm seems like it procced because of the illusion that was happening and the location it was happening in. You recognize this area as a focal point, potentially a ley line focal point, and because something so deeply spiritual was happening here, meshed with the natural world and the arcane world, it just came to fruition, and you recognize and understand that. You're not sure how it happened, but you're like, no, and you're putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and you're like, oh, this is a multifaceted situation.
Okay, then I have a thing that doesn't have a mechanic to it. But that is just the way Aurora interacts with the world. Hi.
Okay. Everybody's
Hi on
saying hi,
multiple
Ellie.
counts.
Everybody's saying hi. She's got a giant unicorn here, so you want to see this? Look at this fucking thing. Hey, I'm gonna take it really quick.
She said that since she
Look at this
I wanna
fucking
see
thing.
this
This thing
unicorn.
is bigger than fucking
there's a
I
giant
am, man. Isn't it crazy?
Someone gave that to her before she was even born. It was at the baby
Yeah.
shower.
Okay, get good sleep, okay?
Yeah, go straight to
Okay.
sleep, little one.
Don't listen. Don't cause any
It's a
trouble.
Joseph-sized
Just listen.
unicorn.
Okay. Wait, where'd Liam go?
Careful, he's coming back. He's probably getting some on this guy.
Oh, okay. All right.
My sister also loved collecting like big stuffed animals.
Okay.
Um,
Get good sleep.
so we currently have a completely
Okay.
oversized stuffed bear, which I
Son
will
of a bitch.
try and go get after stream.
Okay.
Sleep. I love
Seriously,
you.
hey. Do the right
Well,
thing.
after session, I
Go to
guess.
sleep.
Probably be on stream.
Okay. Tomorrow we got school tomorrow morning, so you guys need to get sleep. It's 8:30. You guys are sleepy.
Good night.
Sleepy.
Go. Go lay down.
Okay.
See you in the morning.
Good night.
She also got this really lanky pink panther, which I think is like the length is half my size, but it's not that
Oh
big.
my gosh.
That's a big ass. That's a man-sized fucking Pink Panther.
Yeah, it
Is-
covered
Lucy,
like
aren't
half
you-
her queen sized bed.
Jesus. All right. Okay. Yep. So Aurora, you absolutely recognize that this was a very specific and weird situation, almost like a maelstrom, like an arcane maelstrom, just ready to roll. And as it unfolded, it got crazier and crazier. And you feel with the 16 that this was driven by the way that Gray was speaking. This may have been driven by his emotion. And the reason why you know that is because a lot of sorceress intent is driven through emotion. Good night.
I have a thing that I want to do that is
Okay.
not mechanically rooted. It is strictly an RP thing with how Aurora interacts with the world.
Okay, and what's that?
I feel like when she realized what was going on a little bit, she's going to die a little bit apparently.
Die. That's okay. No
She's
problem.
gonna sit down, where she's still like kind of angled so she can half watch the others because she's keeping an eye on things. She's trying to still watch and be protective. But she's going to just open her everything senses to just kind of be receptive to what is going on. It's just essentially she's just magically being perceptive, like the same instinct that she uses to reach out to figure out what creatures are around. She's just trying to connect with what is there, and it's just a purely instinctual, just opening herself to the world around her, same way she does for all of her magic.
Okay. Tell you what. It's a little...
It doesn't need anything off of that, but it's just
No.
things.
Look, I'm a reactive DM. I like where you're going with this. I'll tell you what, because of how you're going about this is going to be a weird one, but make a survival check for me. Oh my god, what the fuck, dude?
Let's go.
That was the right one.
You said go with instinct. I decided to go with instinct.
Okay, wow, what the fuck, man? A fucking 30, though, for real?
That's
To be fair, it is plus 10, so.
Yeah, right. It's because she gets the bonus because this is her favorite terrain, technically. So as this is unfolding, mind you, Aurora's been very quiet at this point. So as everything is unfolding, and Aurora just is like, "Yo, give me the brass tacks, give me the raw, unadulterated, elemental perception of what is
Give me the
happening here.
juice."
Give me the juice." Aurora. As Gray is manipulating the weave, and the arcane magics are creating illusory responses to his manipulation of the weave, you sense through his emotion and what might be not necessarily sorceress intent, but sorceress, let me back that up a bit. It's not through sorceress intent, but it is through sorceress manipulation of the magic that he has, only because it's so specifically driven through his own magic and emotion that you notice clear as fucking day. At the center of this storm that got whipped up is an air elemental. And the air elemental blends with a water elemental in the sky above you. Literally, that's where this vortex came from. And as they spin into existence with each other, however this is being manipulated down below, you see this happening above you. The lightning, the rain, the wind, it's almost a hurricane of energy. But you see these two entities binding together and embracing each other. And as the passion and the lust kind of comes to fruition between these two entities, you are seeing the explosive... This is... God damn it, Kevin. This is...
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you can't deny it, right? Y'all want lightning methods? Because this is how you get lightning methods. So as these two entities are kind of spinning together and embracing each other, as the illusions on the ground are talking about this weird love story followed by what is essentially a raid or murder, and then like fallen angel passion, we'll call it. This is what you see. You see the elementals in the sky, and as soon as he hits that peak where it's time to be done with it, you see both of the elementals unwind from each other, split into their own realms of reality. The storm fizzles out, and that's that. But it physically happened in front of you, and you are the only one who saw it.
Doc ruins the moment and casts Banish.
Right?
Aurora's gonna keep that to herself for now because she's processing a lot of things. But as she's like half sitting, half crouched, touching the earth again, like opening herself to everything,
Did she really
she's
just try to
going
start
to
something?
No, I thought it was
kind of shake her head a little bit, filing that away, stand up, and go back to trying to be the I'm absolutely not affected by emotions right now, Aurora.
All right. So, Gray.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I what happens next? I probably thought about for an hour, and it was heavily influenced by something I watched just a bit before stream. Gray is basically going to continue his conversation at like 8 minutes, but at the 8th minute mark, the old man. Okay, no, we'll put it this way. Gray looks like he has like this shocked face. He's been sad this whole time, but suddenly it's like something hit him, and the old man opens his mouth, and he says, "Remember what I told you on my deathbed?" And I'd like to think that the scene kind of the major image itself shifts to this old man in a bed, not looking great.
Okay.
And Gray walks closer, and the old man says, "Gray, it's time you start asking yourself the big questions. What is it you want? And why are you still here?" And then, as the image itself kind of fades away at the 10-minute mark, Gray just kind of stands there, just silently. And after a few minutes of just thinking, he's just gonna burst out laughing. And he's gonna go. While laughing, he's probably gonna go. do I want? Question I never asked. And he's gonna turn to Ree, this time with both tears and a giant smile on his face. Probably creepy.
Yeah,
and he's gonna
right,
go,
bud?
yeah, I think I found my answer. Let's go back to the others. I think I have something important to say.
As Gray turns around and says this to Yuri, you realize that while two of the illusory objects have faded from existence, that he has created, there is a figure behind you with a very small, much smaller than he had created, campfire kind of roaring upwards and out of the ground. And you guys see the image of an elven woman, ghostly in nature, sitting and looking almost longingly at Gray as he turns around and says, I think we should go back to the others. I have something to say. Gray, your spell fades, and this entity continues to exist. She has two different colored eyes, heterochromia, one orange, one green. Long
Is that
white
your-
hair.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all I had. Long white hair, and you can see through the bitch.
Does Gray turned away, right, at this point?
Yes, yep.
Is that your ex-girlfriend there?
Is what? And he's gonna turn around and see her.
As you turn around, sure as shit, Gray, now it is a very clearly... It's kind of crazy to say physically ethereal version of her, but yes, you see her sitting there and looking at you almost hauntingly with one orange eye, one beautiful green eye, long flowing hair, and little tiny elven tips poking through the hair as she sits next to the also ethereal campfire looking at you.
I think at that Gray is gonna he's gonna probably be like, what do you mean? Who's what? And then stop talking completely silently. And he'll probably stare at her for like a few solid minutes. And then it's as if his brain just shuts down, and he just instinctively just starts walking towards her.
As you begin to walk towards her, you hear her say,
We both know you can't touch me, Gray. Sit. Please. We have unfinished business.
Can
He
Ree
will
hear
sit
any
down.
of this?
you hear everything. It is clear as fucking day.
Ree
will sit down.
Ree will take a couple steps back, kind of respecting
He's
that
like,
their
"Fuck this shit."
moment together.
Can you hear the voice modulator?
Yes.
Okay.
I hate all
So as you sit, Gray, she kind of looks through the fire at you, and she says,
My sweet. I'm well aware of the trials and tribulations you've undergone since I've fled this world. I harbor no judgment against you, as no mortal being should. But I want you to know that I've heard every word that has dripped from your lips today. And I feel myself finally at peace. You've admitted your wrongdoing, and that's acceptable. You've made your love for me known, and of course for your adoptive father. But you and I, we were something special. And I thank you for that. because I've been wandering these fields alone for what feels like an eternity, hoping and praying that you'd rejoin me. And you have, and I knew you would. I've kept my eyes on the horizon, Gray, forever, hoping to see that sweet halo and your golden skin and your beautiful alabaster eyes once more. But you sit before me, a force of darkness, with nothing but pale porcelain flesh, inky black eyes, soulless. What's happened to you?
Gray's gonna he's gonna give this sad, really sad smile. And he's just gonna say, you did. Or I guess I should say more accurately, your death. And at this point, tears are definitely gonna start streaming around his face.
I didn't mean to die, my love. I didn't mean to die. I promise if it would have been anybody else in the troupe, I'd have accepted it. They shot me through the window. God, they shot me through the window. How rude. How bloody rude is that? They shot me through the window. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it happened as it did. But I'm thankful that you've come back here and shown yourself again, proved to your allies what you really are at heart. At least what I hope you are at heart. Are you on the path of redemption? Are you going to fix what you have destroyed? What is your intention here?
I think Gray's gonna look at her, and his smile's gonna widen again at that question. Still straight eyes streaming down, like with faces just lined with water and tears. And he's gonna go, good? After everything that's happened, I don't think I can be good. But I don't think I'll be bad either. My dad asked me, what do I want to be? I've thought about it, and I'm gonna be whatever I want. Good, bad. I'll do things the way I want to do it. No orders.
At this point, she reaches through the ethereal campfire and she touches your face. And there is a physical manifestation to the touch that is ice cold, but not damaging. And she says to you,
My sweet, as long as you embrace who you are and never forget me and promise to embrace the friendships you've built along the way.
She at this point kind of glances down to the rest of the group, kind of awkwardly sitting in different places around this ring, looking like, oh, maybe I shouldn't think about this. She says,
I only wish you to be who you truly are. And I mean that. But please, for the sake of everybody listed on the tablet.
And she nudges with her head behind you.
Please, if nothing else, and for the sake of the children, try to do good for those around you. For me, Please?
You know, I've always been more good than evil. Now, if you'll excuse me, and he's going to put his, like, hands on her face and kind of put his head, like, on her forehead, even though it feels cold. And he's going to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for letting you die. I'm sorry for what you see before you now, but most importantly, and he's gonna, like, let go and move back. I'm sorry that I have to let you go.
And I have to fade from this world as well. But you've done good here today, Gray. I have not been able to move on since my death, because there is something that I needed to partake in, something I needed to complete. And you have...
Goddamn you, Lucy, dude. You got me crying, man.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying hard not to myself.
You've allowed me to move forward. I've sat here as a ghost, and you know me, my love. I'm smart as a whip. I am well aware of what I am, and I needed to talk to you again, here, and hear your answers and feel the heat of your body, and feel the strength of your will in order for me to take my leave. And I'm confident that I can do that now, but I do it with grace because of what you've told me. Do good by your friends, please, and do not regret any choice you make for the greater good of any individual. Gray, you are Azamar. You are an angel. Literally, you have holy blood that runs through your veins. It courses like a chariot track through your body. Embrace it. Do good to others if you can. And know that I will be at peace. And when you meet your final end, I promise you, my love, my arms will be open, my wings will be wide, and I will await you in Mount Celestia. And there is nothing on this plane of existence that can stop that from happening. Do you understand me?
Gray's gonna kind of get up, walk towards Ree, and turn around, just give her just a wide smile, wiping away the tears. And he's gonna go, "It's a date. See you then."
And Gray, as you
And
do
walk
that,
away.
and as you do that, and as you look back towards her, you see just the very ghostly figure of her kind of blink out of existence, and you hear a couple of final things as the fire and the ethereal form fades, and you hear the following.
I love you.
And the vision vanishes.
Gray kind of tips his hat slightly forward to cover his eyes and goes, "You know my answer. It'll never change." And then he'll move towards Ree and go, "We should probably go meet up with the others."
That was a really neat trick. That was a really neat show you put on there. That was cool. That was.
God damn it,
Are you
Lucy.
okay, buddy?
Dude, he made me fucking cry. You asshole.
I'll be fine now, Ree.
Okay.
Doc might not like my answer, though.
Okay. Yeah, let's go talk to the others.
Also, fuck you, Lucy, for making me cry.
Fuck you and that ghost scene, man. I wasn't ready.
I only built it as you were describing what was happening. I swear to God, I jumped into my image creator and just started drawing up images because I was like, oh, I can't deny you this fucking crazy illusion thing, man.
Why was she so
That was a very nice touch. Yeah.
real?
I hate it so much.
She wouldn't stop staring at me that whole time.
Okay, I digress though. So at this point now, Aurora and Doc, as Ree and Gray, mind you, this is all over the course of like this whole situation has happened over like 30 or so minutes from start to finish, and now Gray and Ree approach Doc and Aurora. So Doc and Aurora, you see Ree and Gray walking towards you.
As they get closer, Gray's gonna hold up his hand in case any of you want to speak. And he's gonna say, right. You probably want an answer as to, I guess, my next steps. Let's see.
25k RP.
I believe on the
Gray.
list is Doc.
Oh, Logan, you're cracking me up, dude.
I'm sorry, but you can tell Garl to go stuff it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm not gonna be following you.
You can tell Garl to go fuck himself in the ass. No, Jesus, Gray.
No,
No.
Carl.
Oh my Garl.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
won't be
so
following Garl into this, and I can't promise I'll always be good. I will, however, be doing better.
That's literally the only thing I've ever asked you to do. I don't expect you to follow Carl.
I'm gonna be doing what I want to do from here on. That might not always be good, is the main reason I'm saying this. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while now, and he's gonna walk over to Aurora.
Oh, tell me
And
you
he's
smacked
gonna-
this bitch in the face.
No, he's gonna kneel down, look you straight in the eye, Aurora, and he's gonna say, "Those glasses make you look really stupid. I really don't want you to wear them again. Or actually, wear them more. It'd be hilarious."
Wait, what glasses? Are you talking about the goggles of night?
Yeah.
Did he just pre-apologize to me for insulting you?
Nah.
Oh
Aurora's
my
gonna look
fucking
up.
god. Poor Aurora, you just took in so much. What the fuck?
Doc literally has this look on her face.
I did say it wasn't all gonna be good.
Ree's just like barking, laughing right now.
Doc's waiting to figure out if she needs to jump in front of Gray again.
Gray is gonna stand up before Aurora can answer and go, "Come on. Let me see. There's a dragon. My soul's on the line. Gotta steal that back. You know, that sounds like a typical fairy tale. I guess that makes your little kobold friend the princess. Come on."
So, because Aurora knows that Gray can hear her regardless, she's going to just say very, very quietly, yeah, good would have looked like shit on you anyway.
Again, Doc's just kind of standing there waiting to see if anything's gonna happen, but when Aurora says that, she breathes, finally. Okay, she's gonna kind of give a weird look with one eyebrow up at the sky like, "I thought you weren't gonna help me?" Alright, so then stealing your soul back, yeah?
And getting a kobold soul gem, I guess. I'm not sure what's happening with that.
I feel like, unless he's absorbed it somehow. He's probably got it stashed somewhere, so it might be one and the same.
Probably will be.
I mean, he's like collecting souls, right? That's kind of his thing. That's what he likes to do.
You know, his thing is being really fucking creepy while people are trying to sleep.
And really smart.
He is smart. He's manipulative as fuck, too.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Gray.
Now, my companions, and no, not companions, I should say friends. We should probably go tell Xavier that we're ready to go. Yeah, what do you want, Doc?
Aurora's your friend, too.
Yeah, more or less.
So what I was gonna say, so if you, or when, I should say, because it seems like you may be getting there. When you're ready to be you again, just let me know, and I will do what I can to help. It's not, you don't have to follow Garl. It's not how it works. But, I told you before, I have a way that I can help you, and it'll only work if you want me to help you. So.
That's not true.
I think I'll stay like this for now.
Does it on atonement?
On ceremony. Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah. Yeah, willing creature.
Okay, let me just hang on. Let me. Sorry, bear with
Oh,
me.
and I guess I never did properly introduce myself. And he's gonna kind of take his hat off, do this really overly ridiculous bow. Grayak Sherry, at your service. You can keep calling me Gray.
It's very nice to meet you, Gray.
So there is a.
I don't get it.
caveat
We've
in
been
that
we've
spell.
been hanging out together for
And
like
it's because
months. I
divine
don't get it.
intervention.
Yeah, but I
just
never told you my name, did I?
happened.
You've always just been calling me Mr. Gray or
If you
Gray.
cast the ceremony spell and
Oh,
change
yeah.
it, it just happens because he's willing. If you cast
Besides, you
divine
could
intervention,
I just thought that was your
Flare,
name.
fuck what
Reed.
he
Yeah,
wants.
I just thought that was your name. I mean, like, you know.
Because that's the
I
whole
only
point
have
of
one
divine
name.
intervention. It is a, I mean, it's a powerful.
Can you imagine,
ability.
like, trying to say my full name?
Earlier when he was giving up, she was like, "What?
Grayax? It's so uncomfortable.
Gray X Shirey.
I'm on a mission."
I mean,
Yeah,
X
exactly.
is in your
So
name.
you
That's
know.
pretty badass. I like it.
God, I have.
Yeah, I don't know who gave it to me. Probably an orc.
Well. Okay.
Aurora like looks down at the ground when you say that and like actively like checks out of the conversation, thinking about him being gifted a name by an
Right.
orc in the camps.
I'd like to think Doc would pick up on that because that immediately, as he said, an orc gave it to me, or maybe an orc gave it to me. Candace actually thought, oh, poor Aurora. So I'd like to think that Doc would have had the same thought. Can I do an insight check on Aurora? Or are you okay with me just dating GM?
No, go ahead. Yeah, make an insight check. Also, I want you guys to know that Lucy, I have not laughed that fucking hard from a Gray perspective of comedy since you tried to fuck Beaufort over in the Sharwin fight early on in the campaign.
That's all I
I
could think
literally have not screamed with laughter because of Gray's actions in almost an entire year. So thank you. Also, 9 insight. Nah, you're there's too many things happening right now for you to truly pick up on what she's understanding. Or I'm sorry, what she's getting at. You can't understand what she's getting at.
All right, well,
Xavier, that joke was actually calculated because, see, it was a big sad moment, so people want to laugh even more.
That's a pretty fair fucking point. If I could give you double inspiration, I would, but the
I'll
rules
take it.
just
No, I'm
don't.
just kidding.
Then, nah, fuck you. No, I'm
still
just kidding.
have
Hey, if you get that divine inspiration off, or that divine intervention off, we'll have a conversation because that's totally worthy.
yeah, question about that. Would I be
Okay.
able to use my inspiration for percentile dice?
You cannot.
I don't
Nope.
think so.
Inspiration is very specifically used only for D20
20s.
rolls.
That's what I
Yep.
thought. Yeah, that's why I didn't try.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. Actually, let me just make sure I'm actually right about that. Okay, so technically, the way that inspiration works, just so you guys know, is not supposed to be an advantage roll. It's actually supposed to be like D4, D6, D8, D10, D12 bonus to something. However,
like Pathfinder.
pretty much, yeah. However, or with a bard, obviously, but the way that I'm running it is very akin to Baldur's Gate 3, where if you have an inspiration, it just allows you to roll advantage on whatever the hell you want, unless it is a bardic inspiration, in which case, or a bless, which a bless is technically an inspiration die. It just doesn't work the same way. Exactly. Yep. So, anyways,
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I was correct.
You are right. Okay, sorry guys.
Okay, well, let's reach out to Xavier and keep things moving, because time is, everything right now. Are you good now, Gray? Did you get what you needed from here? Do we need more time here?
No, I got what I need.
All right, well, maybe before we reach out to Xavier, what the hell do we do now? Like, we're not really gonna just barge in there. We need a plan, like we did the last.
It's kind of difficult to plan for a plane we haven't been to.
True.
Yeah, I have no idea what that place looks like.
It doesn't matter though. What is our plan for our group? We know what we do. We know how we function together. It shouldn't matter where we get dropped. Actually, that should be part of our plan. Is no matter where we're dropped, here is what we do.
Well, I guess Aurora studied terrain check for traps. I don't know.
Okay.
You're normally good at it, but not anymore.
I
We try not. We don't go in the water, right? I mean, like the water of souls. Just don't do that.
Don't do the water. Yeah.
Don't touch that.
No, I won't be touching that.
Don't touch the water.
Aurora, are you paying attention? She like taps Aurora.
We take a boat. Preferably don't get spotted by anything down there.
I'm listening.
Preferably don't get spotted. Don't eat anything that looks strange, poisonous, etc. And then go kick some dragon ass. Seems about right.
Sounds right. This is obviously a trap, so.
Well, he did boast about it straight up to us, so
Right.
yes.
And he did the same with the last thing. He was a little more clever. I think maybe he's getting tired. That could work to our advantage, but. So clearly walking into a trap. I think we don't split up for sure. I mean, I think that needs to be rule number 1. We don't split up. Don't bunch together either. And don't stand in a line. What are all the things we've learned? Don't stand in a line.
Don't stand in a line.
Don't
Don't
bunch
stand.
together.
Nobody stands in a 90-foot cone, a 15-foot cone, or a 10-foot cone.
Right.
No 10 by 10 cubes.
Don't separate too far. Don't stand too close together.
Drink all your potions.
Drink all your potions. Make sure you've had your macaroon.
Don't go past, but don't get closer than 30.
Right.
The fountain is never nacho cheese.
It's never nacho cheese.
It's never nacho. God damn
One
it,
of these
Kat.
fucking days, guys, I swear, I'm gonna find a
there's gonna
nacho
be one.
cheese fountain. There's gonna be one.
Listen, they have them at the Timbers family reunions. However, usually somebody gets dipped into it pretty early on and nobody gets to eat out of it. So there's not really a lot of enjoyment out of it.
Why wouldn't you eat out of it?
Well, those who eat out of it get the squirts for like 3 days.
So why
Goblin
wouldn't
belly,
you eat
y'all.
out of it?
Why don't you eat out of it? What? This guy got a goblin belly. I literally eat rats. What's up? What's the problem?
You make good rats though. Alright, so we're going to
That do be true, though.
get a hold of Xavier. Get
Okay.
back.
Who is reaching out to Xavier, and what are you saying?
I'll reach out to him.
Great. Do you want to reach out to Xavier or do you want me? You
No, he's-
you try it over there.
He's creepy. I'm not sure what his deal is, but we've run into way too many people of various different ages, all saying they knew Xavier when they were younger.
Can I say something about that though? Even with that being true, he's still one of the more normal people we've run into.
Great, make an
Aurora
insight check.
is going to pointedly not be saying anything here. Again, hood is pulled forward.
Gray, when she says that, and everybody else kind of like freezes for a second and kind of looks around and starts to think, she's fucking right. Something might be wrong with this dude, but holy shit, how is he the most normal motherfucker that you guys have met?
Hashtag wisdom.
but that everybody else talks about knowing within like a 500-year timeline.
Right. I'm not saying he's not helpful. Those who are most normal tend to hide the most, I guess.
Also fair point.
That's fair.
That being said, let's hope it's that's his business, but let's hope it's not going to kick us in the ass.
No, I don't get kick us in the ass vibes from him. And to be fair, I don't think I get them from you anymore now either. Whatever you did, I'm glad we
Speaking
came.
of, something just came to my mind. Speaking of people in minds. Aurora. You have someone speaking to you
Oh, he's
in
singing.
your head, don't you?
Oh.
Good old grandpappy, isn't it?
Oh, you just got called the
This
fuck
is
out, dude.
This is not the conversation we should be having here, not so close to their territory.
Whose
If
territory?
you want to have this conversation, Croak Tar.
Can they read minds?
No,
She looks legitimately concerned that she's not being
I
stupid.
don't.
not this far
Well,
at least. I
it
think.
depends. It depends on how decent their shamans are, but no. The point is, it's a long conversation. We should not be standing here for any longer than we need to.
Right, and I'm not going to ask you to tell me about your great grandpappy because I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care. What I am going to tell you is, don't let him throw you in the fire. If he,
The fire
I guess
is
take my
entirely where I want to be, Gray.
I think he means literally, like, don't like
Yeah,
dive into
yes.
a fire.
Fire is
Fire bat.
soothing in a way I can't
Aurora,
even.
I'm quite
Right.
confident that fire will still burn you, despite the fancy new scales. It might not be as effective, but I'm quite confident it'll still burn you.
I feel like
But
we're
take
wasting a
this-
lot of time arguing about this right now.
Take this from my area as my area of expertise. With, I think I've had 2 voices in my head now.
At least.
One of them's now a goat. I don't. Strange times.
Oh yeah, where the fuck did Joseph go?
Just hanging out.
Oh,
For the last
just been
4
taking a-
months.
Just been napping.
Okay.
She's gonna come out when we get to the Underdark. Don't worry.
Hey, her last visit out was saving Doc. I'm pretty sure.
That's true, and she kicked the shit out of like 6
Yes,
gnolls
she did.
before she got dropped.
Well, I think she
Use the rest.
got dropped again after that.
You're right. You did throw her again, like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's true.
At the shadow,
So-
the
Yep.
hunger, I think.
Yep, that is exactly
I
what
think
happened.
she's-
And she whooped the shit out of a bunch of those goblins. It was the
Yeah.
shadow goblins, the shade
Yep.
touch goblins. Yep.
So I think she's. Has it been more than a week since then?
Oh God, she's been good. Actually, she has
Yeah,
been.
I
I
mean,
can
we
tell
did the
you
whole
right now.
building thing in Poodoo.
I can literally tell you right now. She has been good. Josa
it's
has
been
been.
like a
Oh
few
God,
weeks
it
since-
has
yeah.
been one. So it has been one. So it's been 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It has been 13 days that Josa has
That was
actually
off.
been
Okay,
good to go.
yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
13
okay.
days. She was good on Saturday, the 2nd of Jury.
All right, so I can reach out to Xavier. Where do we want him to take us to? The boat, or do we need to go get more stuff first? Where do we want to go? And she's looking
We
around at everybody, but her she
should
stops on Aurora.
I think we
Before
got
that.
We
everything we
should
need. Right?
sleep before we go down there. I know
Yes,
it's
I-
still fairly early in the day. However, we don't want to go in there without being fully prepared.
Yes. Now, I guess back to before the Josa discussion. Listen, take it from my area of expertise. If old man in your head wanted you to do something that you don't like. And I quote me word for word here. Come do it yourself. My
Wait,
one voice.
That's if an old man. That's if an old man talks in my head.
No, not you.
No, not you, Ree. Yours is probably Garl,
You
which
have
is
an old man
a bit
talking
creepy.
in your head, Ree? This is
Not
important.
lately.
Okay.
Not lately. What?
Listen,
No, I'm the only one who doesn't actually
Listen.
talk.
Bunch of fucking
Nolthraxian lunatics.
was extremely powerful. But it took all of its energy and help from the crystal, according to my mentor, to get through our Aurora. My mentor ordered me around, and he was caged by Nolthraxian. I don't know what's going on, but even if he does come through, we'll probably be in the Underdark.
Excuse me.
And if he still comes through, I'm sure we can kick his ass in that state. What I'm trying to say is, don't let him control you. Don't end up like me. It's all too easy.
We're going to lean forward and just give a toothy little grin and just. I took orders from one group. No, you don't have to worry about that.
Good. Then we don't have
And
to talk
there's,
about
like-
it anymore.
There's also like a mental sense of resolve that she has too. A little bit of a shift of like, I'm not going to say it out loud, but Gray's right. If Granddad wants to tell me to do things and get mad at Doc and stuff again, no. So there's that mental shift a little bit too.
Excuse me, y'all.
Good. If we're not going to talk about that anymore, let's go. We can message Doc if you are willing. Can we walk in magic?
Well, you're asking a lot, but I'll try.
If you don't want to try and navigate, I can hold your hand and help keep you from walking into things.
Just accept it.
Doc will
Just do
stop
it.
for a second, and then she gets a weird smirk on her hand, and closes her eyes and puts out a hand and says, "Yes, I can't see anything in this fucking jungle. Somebody tell me where I'm going."
That's good. I have goggles for that. They would look they're perfectly you-sized.
Ree, you are so fucking confused because it is very clearly early morning
We're not in a
in the
jungle.
middle of the fucking plains of Dremble. And what are these bitches talking
And
about?
Doc almost sounded like Aurora for a second.
Like legit spot on.
Yeah, what the fuck are you guys talking about? What the fuck is going on right now?
I was giving Aurora shit and we're getting ready to go. I'm gonna send a spell to Xavier so we can get out of here. Do we want to go back to town and rest? Is that what the plan was? Before I send him the message?
I suppose we can go back to the town we were before we came to Dremble. I can't remember the name.
Why don't
Kerberg.
we
Herbert.
why don't you ask Xavier, say that we have finished our business here. We like to proceed with the rest of the plan. However, we need to rest first. And if there is a place that he would recommend, then we would be honored if he could take us there. Be polite, please.
I'm sending the message, not you.
Yes, please.
Okay.
That's a bit strange.
Wait, was that for
Probably
yourself
like-
or was that for?
So you don't want me to imitate you when I'm sending the message? Is that what you were getting at?
If
Spot on.
you have to imitate anyone, Ree would probably be the best.
I'm gonna start doing imitations, but not now. Okay, hold on a second.
I love that
I'd like
Candace
to point out-
takes notes on her sending spells. Because when her and I LARPed regularly, there was a spell called Message that you could send, and it would be like you have to hit up somebody in the storyteller like arc of people to send a message to somebody else, and they would have to take your message with a certain amount of words, and it was 25 words, and they'd have to run it to wherever the fuck this person was to give them the message and be like, you receive a telepathic message, here you go, do you want to respond? So we're very diligent about our messages. Anyway, sorry, Lucy, go ahead.
That happened once in our LARP group. And
the message spell?
The character who had it cast on them got teleported over, so that was an interesting set of events.
Oh, weird.
Because the person who teleported them plays a Sphinx, but their character is very asshole-ish. So they're just like, I'm in danger, teleport.
Rude.
Yeah, well, somebody else used to teleport all the fucking time.
That was my character.
That was him.
He did not want to do it, by the way. He
No.
was a ritual
Like, literally?
spellcaster, and he was like, all I do is rituals and make magic items. And every time he'd like tweak out. It's like he had like an epileptic issue, and he'd be like, I'm about to seizure, and everyone would be like, are you okay? And he's like, I'm about to fucking teleport.
My character-
help me! Wow! And he was
character,
gone.
Which was like his guardian, always had a hand on his fucking belt because
Yep,
you could jump
literally.
on teleports.
Yep,
She
you could jump
always
on.
had a hand on him. Like
It was
if she
called a
was talking
rift,
to
by the way.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Sending to Xavier, and I'm gonna say, Gray got what he needed. Need to rest. Can you please take us to best resting place before moving forward with plan? Also, thank you.
So you feel the static, and you feel the message send. You feel Xavier receive the message, and you feel a response.
My goodness, Gray got what he needed or what he deserved?
She literally starts laughing out loud when she gets it.
Clearly I kid, but yes, no, I can take you back to wherever you'd like to be. Do you want to go to Kerberg? Do you want to go to the Tower of the Magi, the Mesh, Silver Peak, Outland? I can take you all the way back to Middleton if you'd like. Just meet me back where we first saw ourselves, and I'll get you to where you need to be. Also, strange storm down there to the southeast,
Okay, he wants us to meet him where he left us. Also, I've gotta learn his sending spell because he can say way more words than I can. He's still
Without
most
even
wrong.
making a check, Candace, and especially since you were the one who initiated the spell, the dude sends way more words, and he's the only one you've ever experienced sending more words than anybody else.
I think it was like 48 words. I was trying to count.
It was like a fucking load.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Usually it's 2 to 3 times the amount of words any other spellcaster with the same spell could cast.
I love it. All right, to that way. Somebody else lead.
Aurora's gonna start
I'll
moving.
lead. Okay.
I did
This
mark
is-
off my spell slots, just so you know.
This is totally
Thank
home
you.
turf. She's like, I want to get the fuck out of here before
Alright.
it becomes really home turf.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we have Aurora give me a survival check, and why don't we do it with advantage because Ree is assisting because Ree was the one who Ree was the one who fuck me, fucking 21 to 25.
You're welcome.
Fuck you.
Favorite terrain. I'm gonna be very sad in about a day when we're in a miserable Underdark instead of my nice, beautiful plains.
All right, so you guys, I mean, it takes you 25, 30 minutes to get yourselves back to where Xavier is, and you do find Xavier. He is there, and he is in all of his glory. It's only been, just so you guys know, about 2 hours since all of this has gone down, meaning a half hour there, half hour back, and about an hour... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Kat.
Oh, sorry, I'm absolutely interjecting. The smoke. Is the smoke still there in the same
Good question.
everything?
That's a really good
We
fucking
saw the
question.
map, I saw the smoke.
Yep, no,
So,
absolutely. Give me a perception check, please.
Okay.
With advantage, because you knew where it came from. God damn it, that's a good question. 29, man, fuck you, dude. Yeah, of course you fucking see the smoke. Why would you not? With a
You see it, you smell it, it's burning your nose.
you see it, you smell it, you fucking taste the ashes on the wind. All right? No. On a serious note, yes, you absolutely do note the smoke is there in the exact same consistency it was when you left. Meaning, to you as a former slaver, excuse me. Yeah, I look, I got you. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I called you a slaver. You are a former slaver.
How dare?
Rude as fuck.
How very dare you?
I'm getting fucking cut up over here. The smoke trails that you see, the scent on the air, and the relativity between you and it means that they have not moved since you took off.
Cool. Then I would be directing us in the same path that we did before, where it's avoiding them.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah, I don't need a call back to Flavor Camp Central at this stage in anything.
Boy, would that take this campaign in a different direction. All right, listen
Yeah,
up, Gray.
I chose
Get
the
those,
party
clap
one.
those chains, baby. Clap those chains like Ree's clapping her cheeks. No, I'm just kidding. Wow, me! Come on, you've dropped some nasty... By the way, somebody clipped last week with the Dark Pocket comment where Ree says flat out, Dark Pocket!
And I'm like, yeah!
Yeah, it's like my vagina! And all of us, Lucy stood up out of his chair and bent forward. Kat jumped out of her seat and looked up. I leaned over so hard, I swear to God, I smacked my head on my fucking keyboard, and Candace went, oh! It was horrific.
Everybody almost died.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah. It was almost TPK.
We have it renamed Gray's Portable Storage. The
Yes,
formality
it
is
is.
in effect in the
Exactly.
name.
Portable
Yes,
storage.
the portable storage. Instead of
I love that term.
my deep fucking, whatever it was, moist hole or what. Oh, God, you guys are nasty.
I think it was just Gray's hole. You made it so
It was
much
terrible.
worse.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. Okay, I digress. All right, so you guys have found your way back to Xavier. Xavier is sitting exactly where you found him. Though he has a couple of woolen sacks that are sitting next to him that are tied off at the top, but pretty full, probably 40 or 50 pounds each. And as you approach, he says, "Oh my goodness, my dears! Hello, hello, hello! Quite a storm there was to the south, huh?"
Yeah, it was pretty intense. Came out of nowhere.
But everybody's okay, I hope.
Seen anything like that before?
Yes, I have actually. Aurora, if you were to go across the sea to a place called the Wailing Waters on the archipelago of the Wildlands, I have absolutely seen something similar, though not identical in nature. To what that, and he kind of motions down to the southeast, was. Yes, I have seen that indeed. Very strange, though, isn't it?
I don't get it. It's just a fucking storm.
It was an intense storm. Isn't that right, Aurora?
Intense.
Why are you all creepy?
Is a passionate storm.
Never heard a storm described as passionate.
But here we
I've
are.
never seen a storm like that one.
That's true. Well, maybe you have. Oh, interesting. Ree, you may have seen a storm that passionate in the Grelian Mountains when Ishnir in her infancy was flying through the boughs of the clouds and the cliff tops. Though maybe you don't remember because you're a goblin. No offense, by the way, but maybe that's what happened. Maybe it's just a memory issue.
What the fuck is going on? What are we talking about?
We're talking about the storms and the clouds and the skies
Yeah,
and the
well,
mountaintops.
okay. Yeah, alright. You guys being weird about it, though.
Nah, I was being a little bit weird about it, sorry. Alright, are we ready to teleport?
Yeah, I guess. Are we teleporting? Are we taking a nap? Are we teleporting right now, or what's up?
Oh, do you need to sleep now? I can take you to... I can create a sanctum for us if we need to. Would you like to sleep for tonight? I can create a sanctum, and then I can teleport you in the morning to the river.
We do need to sleep before we go to the river. I trust in your ability to create a sufficient sanctum, but I am uneasy being so close to the camps of Croc.
How fucking dare you? How dare you question my ability to make a sanctum that would keep us hidden from the savage nonsense of Croak-Ta?
Xavier would see a very slow little gnomish hand come over and cover Aurora's mouth.
And you see Xavier's eyes kind of glance down at Doc, and he kind of nods at you, and he looks back at Aurora and says, "It's not your fault. You were born of Orcish blood. But, my dear, watch and learn." And as he snaps his fingers, he spins in a very glorious circle, as he always fucking does. And as he does so, there is a runic circle that spins around you, only around the group of you, which is about 10 feet, we'll say, circumference. But then it expands to about 50 feet. And as it does so, walls rise from the ground, almost illusory walls, but the walls materialize, and as they do, it blocks out the outside light, it blocks out the outside landscape, it blocks out everything from the outside. And as the roof, as the ceiling come to fruition, everything vanishes from the outside world, and Xavier looks down. And now that you are looking at him after regaling in the intensity that is the outside world, you realize, holy shit, this man's wearing a dress. Maybe robes with a fancy top, really. But he is wearing totally different garment than when you saw him about 20 seconds ago. And it is bright blue, with baby blue trim and gold inlay around the entirety of his robes. And he's got his studs in. As he begins to talk, you guys see a tongue piercing, dead center of his tongue, in a single gold stud flicking out at you. And he says, "Welcome to my humble abode, my loves. Are we taking the night here, then? What are you interested in? I sense my sweet smoked meats. Ooh, are you also feeling mashed potatoes and gravy? You want... No, I lie. You want a gravy fountain with all of the potatoes and vegetables that you want...
Stop.
He puts his hands up.
Nacho cheese fountain.
Fuck me. He snaps his fingers, and as he does so, the gravy fountain literally manifests. So the gravy fountain, which was like a cat's head puking gravy up into the air and down the side of the fountain, which honestly looked really good, now becomes a bronze dragon head. Yep. And nacho cheese begins to spill out of its mouth. Around the edges, you see a plate of peppers, bread, pitas, and we'll say cheeses, like solid cheeses. And Xavier looks down and goes, "You're right. We needed nacho cheese."
Fuck yes.
Doc.
Xavier looks down as Doc begins to speak, and he glances quickly at Rhea and says, "Get it, girl."
Oh, I'm gonna get it. Too bad I'm lactose intolerant for you all.
And Rhea lunges for the nacho cheese fountain.
Doc just kind of like blinks. She looks around and blinks, and then is like, because she did mention it was at the Timbers family reunions earlier. She just kind of has like this big, almost like breath of relief, and then grabs a piece of bread, puts it into the fountain, and shoves it in Aurora's face.
And he shoves it into whose face?
Aurora's face. Like, eat this! Try this! You haven't had it before, eat it.
I don't think she'd be able to react fast enough to not.
She tries to react, and as she tries to react, you get you get like this really, like, it's almost sensual, like this, "No, I don't want to," and then as she double glugs, you...
Someone clip that, please. All of our reactions were... Clip
Beru
it.
just
As she double glugs, I can't even
doubling
say
down.
that. I can't even. I didn't double down. I just committed to what I said initially. As she double glugs, there is a moment.
keep saying it. Say it one more time.
If I say it the third time, it's like Beetlejuice, and it just manifests.
Summon a demon.
My name Glug.
My name is Jeff. So she, as Aurora opens her mouth and begins to say something, Doc pops the fork, the fucking fondue fork, into her mouth, and Aurora takes the bite, borderline unwillingly.
It's fucking delicious, man.
My name is Jeff.
Recover from that.
Good luck.
That's weird. You know what? It's no macaroon, but it is good. I will give you that.
Told you.
Also, yeah, no, I don't have words for that.
No, I cannot refrain from shoving food in your face. And she'll stab another piece, dip it in the cheese, and then offer it again.
I have hands. I can hold a fork.
I'll hand you the fork. Now that you're willing.
She has claws, not hands, but she can still hold a fork. Okay, so
You got us the cheese fountain.
by the way, Xavier has vanished from fucking sight. You guys are like locked into his little like sub world, whatever this is. There's like a huge dome. To be clear, there is a dome around you that's about 150 feet in circumference. And it goes up about 25, 30 feet. And around you at the base level is just a long, almost like kingly table of meats, cheeses, fruit slices, crackers, different dried nuts and smoked meats and things of the sort, as well as this huge nacho cheese fountain. And the nacho cheese fountain is like obviously the centerpiece because everything is based around that, including like cooked shrimp, scallops, chicken pieces, steak pieces. It's fucking wild. And Xavier just walks out of the room. Also, what is Gray doing in the middle of this weird spell?
I like to think that before, as everyone's busy doing their thing, and before Xavier walks out, seeing he's gonna look at Xavier, see him in a dress, and go, grow some hair and maybe you look nice. And he's gonna walk forward, stop, turn, and go, thanks for everything so far, and then keep walking.
So
Then
he
go,
hears
"Reed,
the
don't fall in the fountain."
he hears the first thing you say. You said maybe grow some hair. I'm sorry. Repeat that again. You said maybe grow some hair and then what?
Maybe you'll look good.
So he kind of chuckles under his breath, and as he turns away, he takes like 10, 15 steps, stops at the stairway that leads up towards the second level of whatever this little world is that you have entered. And you hear him say to you, only to you, Gray, via telepathy, you hear him say,
Well, that's awfully sweet of you. Maybe if you grow your angel wings back, everyone will think kindly of you.
Now, where's the fun in that? And then he's gonna, I guess, walk towards and go, "Reed, don't fall in."
as Ree is like over
Ree's
the
already
top. Oh, Ree!
Great.
No, she
Not eating this
purposely
cheese.
jumped in. Yeah.
Gray will also probably reply with, in his thoughts, probably he'll reply with, if I can reply, he doesn't know, he's gonna try anyway. He's gonna say thanks again. But before that, he's gonna say, "I'm not sure what you really are, but thanks anyway. You're definitely not the same as the other one."
Make a... make a persuasion check, Gray. I know you're good at these because you're a bard and you're a bitch. You're a bitchy bard.
Okay, my bad.
Bitch bard.
It's not a bad thing.
Bard bitch.
It's actually a really good... Yeah, bard bitch. Hashtag bard... Hold on, fucking 28, you stupid asshole.
yeah.
Fuck you, man.
I have a plus 12, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so, Gray, you say that, and you receive a response from Xavier, and you feel the response as follows.
I am more than you could ever imagine. Yet I am capable of understanding everything that your mortal vessel could comprehend, at least in its basic form, Mr. Gray. Do not assume that I am nothing. Instead, assume that I, Expulsia, am everything.
And you feel the telepathy fade from your mind.
Cool. I'm glad I wrote his name down already.
Bingo, baby.
Yeah. I guess if I'm not allowed to reply again, because Gray doesn't stop talking.
You could try.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try. I forgot what I wanted to say now. Which blanked completely.
That's all right. Lay it on me, baby. Take time. Do it. Also, this is gonna sound really weird, but Lucy, your hair in your fucking light right now looks beautiful. You look like a bronze or copper dragonborn. Your hair is just like gleaming in whatever light you have above you. All right.
Yeah, there's a light directly above me.
Is that what it is? I was like, dude, what the fuck? You look like you hit literally somebody's like just. It's like gold nuggets. It's like, oh, Garl, my Garl.
I think I remember now.
Here we go.
Say, yeah. I don't even think he'll actually send this to Xavier. I think he's just gonna think to himself, "You're as creepy as always." And then go join the others in the festivities. But he's not touching the nacho fountain now after he's fallen.
Yeah.
After saying she's
Yeah,
so dark, she'd like those tolerant.
Ree is swimming circles now in the nacho cheese fountain, now that it exists, in the way that it exists. So, okay, so everybody kind of like circles around this nacho cheese fountain.
Well,
Oh, I'm done eating.
Yeah, I figured that was probably the case.
Yeah, and
Sorry,
it's
not
not-
sorry.
This
Yeah.
bitch, this
I will
bitch though, I will. Fight.
Doc's like ready to offer another piece of something cheese Ree to Aurora, and sees that Ree jumped in and then feeds herself because that's the only one she's getting.
And it's the only one that would make you not have the squirts
Right.
tomorrow. So.
Hey, if you guys want, there's like clump cheese on the bottom here. I can give you here. You want some clump
Please
cheese?
never say that again.
And she, as Ree pulls her hand out of the fountain, it is literally like blue cheese, but there's like 3 goblin fist-sized chunks of it stuck together with like cheddar dripping off, like liquid cheddar. It's fucking horrific, but maybe tastes good. IDK.
No,
I
no.
will never K.
I'm not
No.
finding that out. Yeah.
Anybody? All right, fine. More for me.
And she eats it and she feels good as fuck.
Doc
Strong
will
as
move on
fuck,
to
boy.
other things.
This is how she gets strong as fuck, boy.
Doc will continue eating things that are not needed for cheese.
Okay, so you eat the cucumbers and the celery and the carrots and the bread minus the cheese and the meat. There's like some smoked meats that you... Look, you don't have to dip anything in cheese if you don't want to.
I really want to, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, there's not 2 fountains, though. There's only the
Right,
one.
yeah.
And Ree's in it.
Really big tasted.
There is not enough prestidigitation in the world to clean.
No. No. You can't clean disease with prestidigitation.
To be fair,
You can only clean stains. So if she shits her pants, you're good to go.
Right.
But the cheese is still fucked up.
she made it happen though, so she can enjoy her cheese bath.
And she's having a good time. So fuck you guys for even...
That's all that matters.
Yep, bingo. That's the ticket. Okay. So...
I think I'll level up now.
Yeah, go ahead and level up, Lucy. You've already given us your hit points, so go ahead and do your level up.
Is there like a long table? Like there's the fountain.
No, there's tons of long tables. It actually, so Xavier's sanctum, for whatever it's worth, looks like it should house probably 50 people, like legitimately, like all the way up top to bottom. This should be a party for like 50 plus people. There are only 4 in here right now, plus Xavier, who has already walked away, and he has not said anything. But yeah, it's a big place.
Doc would probably lead Aurora to the end of a table away from everybody else, and then pat a seat next to her.
Aurora's gonna check to make sure she's not holding a fondue fork before she sits.
Make a perception check. Oh! So, Aurora, as you look down, you realize that not only do you have a fondue fork, but you have it pointed about 7 inches away from Doc's jugular, but at your side, and you kind of, as you blink yourself out of the stupor, you're like, oh shit, I was about to bleed this bitch.
Yeah, so Aurora's gonna very deliberately put down the fondue fork, scoot it away from Doc so Doc can't grab the fondue fork.
So she sets it on the table and then just slings it across the table.
And then takes a seat like nothing's wrong.
Did you not like the cheese?
It was, I've grown partial to macarons.
Good
And
answer.
all Doc hears in her head is, X gonna give it to you. No, I'm just kidding.
Good answer. Okay, well, a lot has happened. A lot has transpired in the past. She looks at a non-existent watch on her wrist, however many hours.
It's been 1 hour.
And while we continue this feels like a lifetime experience, I just want to make sure you're good.
With what?
Being here. Going there.
Yes. I'm going to make sure that he and all of us make it out on the other side in one piece, still breathing.
And then what?
Then what? What do you mean, and then what?
And then what? When we don't have to save Meepo, or Gray, or ourselves, or the world.
It's a good question.
Then what?
That's actually a really good fucking question.
What are
She
your plans?
So, like, deer in headlights there. Dragoneye and Hawkeye both very fucking, like, wide. This is not a question she expected. I am sure there will be some other crisis that will happen.
What if there's not?
It has been, she checks her own non-existent watch. Yeah, days since last crisis that has never gone above 0.
Okay, but what if we don't have a crisis to deal with? It's not lost on me that I kind of stole away your ability to go back to what you know. So what is your plan? Do you have one?
She takes a deep breath, check it out. I don't know. You didn't steal it. That's not the right word. And besides, you were never a good thief or assassin.
It's not wrong.
But
Well, I'm not 100%.
I set out for one purpose, and then I was going to go back. I found that. That's your fault. Set out to earn a name and you gave me one. But I can't go back. I don't know.
Do you want to go back?
It's a good fucking question.
I don't know where I would go. If not there. And I can't go there. So I don't know.
You're not displaced. She gets like a really warm smile on her face. If the Timbers will accept an awkward, lanky cat who's not really good at anything, I'm sure they will accept a weirdo with 2 strange eyes. She gives her like a playful smirk. But I don't want you to feel obligated either. I just don't want you to feel like you don't have anywhere to go. Even if it's temporary. You are Aurora now, and you will never be she again.
I don't have a clue what to say to that, because that's at the very least you're going to need an escort back home so you don't die 4 times on the road.
Only 3, that'd be good. How about with Grandpappy? Is he gonna let you kind of make your own plans?
He doesn't make decisions for me. She like spits out the words.
Did I tell you that I talked a little shit to him over when you were just here? Yeah, so when you disappeared off the back of the dragon, you talked a little shit to Grandpappy. I don't know if that impressed him or pissed him off, but he was making me mad.
That would explain some of his thoughts towards you.
Super happy thoughts?
I don't want to lie to you.
So super happy thoughts. Does he like cheese?
I am not going to ask.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry if that made things harder on you.
You yelled at Esmeralda because I disappeared off the back of Ishneer.
To be fair, I didn't know who he was, but yeah, he was being kind of a prick in my head. So,
He spoke to you?
yeah. He seemed impressed by the end of the conversation.
Well, maybe you just need to show him some more teeth.
She just smiles at you.
Yeah, that would work too. No, when we're done getting our friends' souls back, then I'll escort you home. And after that, I don't know.
Well, you will always have a home with me, whether that's in Hobbleton or on the road or in a whole new place. If you want to continue to escort me and keep me alive, you are more than welcome to do that.
She smiles a little bit. Yeah, well, somebody has to. For Glitterbright, your luck in staying alive is kind of shit.
That is true.
I wasn't a Glitterbright forever. I died a lot before I was a Glitterbright. I think I've only died once since I was a Glitterbright.
Once is too many times. But sure, I'll go and... The timbers? Yeah, I'm sure that will go delightfully. You are going to answer any questions about what my life was like, though.
I'm gonna answer them?
Yes. Because they're not going to like any of the answers I give.
That's true.
No,
That's pretty fair.
Yeah, we're gonna come up with a good story. Timbers love a good story.
Well, that gives you something to work on.
Because I have nothing else right now.
Absolutely nothing else.
She'll just kind of go back to, like, chomping.
All right. So on that note, we will end tonight's session there, and we will say that you guys are back at Xavier's point of teleportation. He is there. You guys have had this conversation while you walked, and you will prepare for your next endeavor once you are there and decide to move on or not move on. That is your choice. So, any questions, comments, or clarifications that we need to make before we move on for tonight?
My level up might take a while because at level 10 I get to choose any spell
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I can cast.
Yep, yep. You get a
I
lot
know.
of crazy shit at level 10 as a bard. So, Lucy, feel free to take your... I mean, look, you got a week. We don't play for a week, so if you can't figure it out in a week, I'll figure it out for you. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, yeah, take your time, figure it out. If you have any questions for me, send me a message, and we'll go from there.
I do have a comment.
Yes?
Cheese fountain!
Cheese fountain!
Finally, yeah. fucking-
Oh,
Yeah,
about
man.
goddamn time.
It's been like a year.
It's been over a year. It's
Told
been
you
a
to
year and a half since you guys mentioned the nacho cheese fountain.
Yes. Thanks
See,
for
the
a great
chances are
session,
never
as always.
zero.
Yeah.
Never zero.
Anything's possible in the world of D&D. Even cheese fountain.
Just depends on how you roll.
Thank you, guys.
On just a slight note, I said my decision was made by some things that I watched. The thing I watched was Avatar: The Last Airbender, and the questions I got were from Uncle Iroh, Zuko's grandpa.
No shit, really?
Yeah, they're similar, but I took inspiration of the questions from him.
I fucking love that. You're talking about, by the way, the Avatar. You were talking about the like the cartoon version or the movie version or the anime
cartoon
version?
version.
Cartoon.
Like the
Okay.
bald kid that flies on a ball there.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, just making sure. That's fucking awesome, dude. How badass is that? Yeah, this was a wild night for RP. There's a lot of RP XP that was given, and the note that I have to myself on a sticky note and not a note card is Aurora hashtag prepare yourself.
Wah, wah, wah.
No, I mean it's because you're about to level up.
Yeah.
You're about to hit 10.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Actually, question.
Yes.
Since we are about to do the long rest,
Yes.
do you want me to do that now or wait until the next long?
You can do that. I'll tell you what. Just wait until the next time that we like dive into it, because it'll depend on how you roll, for your HP. And you guys are not technically taking a long rest at this point. I believe you're about to jump before that. But if you do long rest when we pick up next session, then absolutely you'll do it immediately when that happens. So prepare for it.
I will look at the weird multi-class things that I get.
Yes. That's why I give you the heads up. Look at that weird shit. All right,
on
guys.
a side note,
Yes,
I
please.
found a fun spell that I feel like kind of fits. It's called Asheralodon's Stride.
Yo, I already know that spell.
Oh,
yeah. It's an elemental evil spell.
I also shared.
I'm not going to take it, but I like that it's there.
Yeah, it's fucking wild,
that's a good
isn't
one.
it? Yep. Great spell, honestly. Great spell. Okay, guys. Have an excellent night and have an excellent week. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you guys next weekend for more D&D.
Thank you.
And if anybody has any questions, comments, or clarifications throughout the week, just send me a DM. And Lucy, I do seriously appreciate your hardcore involvement
Yeah.
as far as storytelling and RP is concerned.
Yeah, thank you. I was a bit concerned with my talking, so I did kind of send everyone, including Candace on stream, a message of like, hey, I might speak a lot next session. I can make it shorter if you want, but I
And you
just
know
wanted
it's
to
speak
speak
all
here.
the
Here's
time.
the good thing though, man. If you need 45 minutes
Right.
or an hour and a half to fucking talk, we're gonna allow it. This is the stream for it. So, or this is the game for it. It's not. Nobody gives really two fucks about stream. If you're here watching the stream, we love you and we appreciate you watching, but you are not important. The important part is the people who are playing and getting the involvement out of it. So yeah, we definitely appreciate that. All right, guys. On that note, we'll see you next week. We're gonna raid. We're raiding Zachary the Chemelide, by the way. So he used to be Zachary the Hawk, but he's playing Neverwinter Nights right now, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love his Neverwinter Nights playthrough. He's in like a sub-Saharan Egyptian kind of. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I think he's actually in the midst of a. I think he's in the midst of a mod playthrough, but either way, we're gonna raid him for tonight, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday for Candace's Crochet and Chill stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have Saturday D&D next week, or is that the week after?
It's next week.
It is next week. Yep, Saturday
thank
D&D
you.
is next week, and then we'll be back. Sunday for Sunday D&D. Yep.
Right.
Double
And
dip
I have
weekend.
one last thing to say before I leave.
Yes.
Xavier